The hype train continues, and after a phenomenal first series today, we are going to continue on with Flipside Tactics versus Complexity Gaming. One of the new orgs that we have around here, but not a new team. Complexity dominant last season. They'll try and recreate that this time around, but this time we have a new look Flipside. Quinn, could you give us some insight about Yukio?
Yukio, he is an Australian player, keyboard and mouse, like you heard that before, but he is actually an incredible midfield player. I mean, he's just so strong on offense, on defense. Something I've typically noticed with keyboard and mouse players is they tend to have really good 50-50s. I'm not sure if that's because it may be a little easier to time, you know, exactly when you want to play.
You're not going to know that one,
right?
Are we?
I'm here to cast, not analyze. But he's very good in the 50-50 games. He's a very gritty player, but what impressed me the most is when we saw him at DreamHack in Leipzig. He meshed so well with that Flipside team, which was playing with a substitute. So I am so excited to see him playing with their full roster.
Absolutely. Jesse was the substitute back then, probably playing beyond what was expected of him. But the real star of that show was Kuxir, really stepping up to levels that I have not seen from him ever since Amsterdam, all those years ago, back when Flipside won the World Championship. Complexity still looking for their first major tournament victory. They've been in the running for it for a very long time, but now this is going to be the season they want to try and knuckle down and pick that up for themselves, because can you really be an elite team until you pick up that major trophy?
Absolutely. Oh, danger already. Mystic knocking that one in right off the crossbar.
Magnus now tries to transfer. Going to be bouncing out to a good position for Complexity. They're going to take their time. That's Norris. Flicks it straight up. It's now going to be a race between a lot and Kuxir. And a lot does win. Double commit as well from Flipside. Who's going to be following up? It's Magnus off the backboard. Norris taps it straight down. A lot. Is he going to go for this? Chooses to go for it, but not really too much damage dealt. Opportunity does go to waste there from Complexity. They could have probably done more there.
Well, we did see one of their players go in for the bump in the goal against Yukio. Yukio saw it coming, and he dodged it just in time.
Magnus straight back down to a lot, plays it infield from Norris. Great team play, but now they can be countered for it. Execution has to be correct, otherwise Yukio can come in and get his debut match started with a debut goal.
Absolutely, his first goal to RLCS. Congratulations to him. Just going for that really fast, rotation there straight from the net. Like I said, he's a player who's always ready in that midfield transition.
You know he's been dreaming of that goal for so long as well. Waiting for it. What could it be? Could it be an infield? Am I going to do it off the ceiling? Nah. Reality says you're just going to hit the ball really hard. Mystic over in the corner. Norris put the ball up high. Kuxir can move forward, however. Curious to see what he's going to be doing this season. Want to see him be almost unleashed. Use Mystic and Yukio as holding players and just allow him to go absolutely insane. He's still that mechanical genius that he's been for years now. Norris can't quite get it past Kuxir. Magnus will try and chase up. Got options. It's going to be a demo attempt from a lot. He's trying to chase somebody down, but Kuxir, he's already on the backboard, meaning that there's going to be no real way to attack him. Still, one goal separates, just over 2 minutes played. Magnus playing the early shot. A lot straight back over to the middle. It's going to be no follow-up available. Magnus choosing to move all the way back. Not a great touch from him, but he's put it over to a lot. Flipside have the opportunity now to settle themselves into this final third. Yukio's touch not quite good enough. Magnus doesn't even make a touch, so it's going to be left to Norris. Got it in front of him, tries to put Mystic into a bad decision. Not necessarily a fake attempt, but just wanted to put Mystic just to the side so that he could ram the ball straight through.
We saw one of his teammates go for the bump there. It just wasn't enough, fast enough, and he didn't get the strong. Oh, a lot. What a shot. They're beating two Flipside defenders as well. Yeah,
it came off the initial mistake of a double commit. They couldn't get themselves back into position. You can say it's a double, like Yukio's up there as well, but he was almost just like there for the sake of being there. He was never going to reach it.
And on this Flipside team, that's maybe the third or fourth double commit that we've seen already. Definitely some communication issues. We saw what happened to PSG with that.
This level of Rocket League, any sort of mistake can be torn apart. A lot. Going to look for off the backboard, but instead taken away by Yukio. Solid debut for him so far. Nets are going to leave it all the way back for a lot. Mystic back to a lot yet again. Could be going infield. Norris puts it straight over. teammate is really far back, so there's no real need for him to go forward. Mystic can easily clear. Magnus puts it straight over to Yukio. Yukio can now follow this. See if he can do some damage. But still, both teams slowing the pace down now. As we head closer and closer to that final minute, the next goal is going to leave very little time to be reacted to. That's Norris. Can't get over the top. Yukio, yet another block. Going to try and follow as well. Isn't able to get there, and he's also got the boost taken away from him by a lot, but still, FLIPSID Tactics on the offensive. Magnus, great touch from him, and now a lot. First touch just wasn't quite good enough. Caught it with the back of the car, but the shot follow-up a lot will take the goal.
And this is just another overcommit, punishing FLIPSID yet again. No. Look at that, and it's heartbreaking there. Cuxer, he's always the kind of player on his team who wants to be that defense to offense transition. Ideally, Cuxer would take that ball up against the sidewalk, but Yukio going up, just blocking him away from that ball. It's just not good enough.
Mechanics have been fine so far from FLIPSID Tactics, but they've had enough time. This roster's been locked in for a fair amount of time now. These are the sort of mistakes that should have been ironed out well before an RLCS season begins. So Lot takes the shot, open net. And that shooting percentage is starting to go up very quickly now, no longer 8%.
Oh yeah, absolutely, especially when you're hitting open goals like this. Come on, where's this FLIPSID team? I mean, from Complexity's perspective, what?
They are everywhere except for in the goal.
I guess that might be a good tactic.
It's not a good tactic at all. Defend your net, boys. Defend your net. 3-1 as we head into the final 30 seconds of this match. Mystic couldn't quite catch it well enough as he hit it with the bottom of his car. Now 20 seconds left. It's just going to be up to Complexity to waste time away. Metznaris leaves it for a lot. Forces one player out from FLIPSID. Another clear from Metznaris puts us down to 10 seconds. The clock is not FLIPSID's friend right now. Infield pass over to Metznaris. There is goal number 4. And the scoreline tells the story of a convincing win for Complexity.
Yeah, just more salt in the wound at this point. You see Magnus pass that one into space. And for FLIPSID, I mean, they don't even really care about that goal at this point. They're just looking at what mistakes are being made in game number 1. And for the most part, that's double commits. Just sending 2 people to the ball time and time again left them out of rotation.
It's definitely an issue, and I can't quite tell if it's a communication issue or if it's a nerves issue, because Yukio has been involved in a lot of those double commits so far, and it has to stop. They've got to get him calmed down, but who steps up as that in-game leader now? It has to be Mystic. Cooks is way too quiet of a person to be the person to tell Yukio to settle down a little bit, so it's going to have to be Mystic to really make his voice heard now and just say, look, dude, it didn't go well. We can turn this around, though. Yeah,
Mystic is easily the most confident and just level-headed player on that team. It is up to him to really kind of help Yukio settle into position. The big thing here is I don't think that it's necessarily nerves. I think this is a communication problem, and hear me out. We saw Yukio already perform in a LAN environment, one of the most stacked LAN environments today, DreamHack Leipzig, and playing with a substitute. There was no problem there. But we're coming into RLCS.
It's a whole different stage, dude. It's a whole different stage.
You're right about that. You're right about that. I guess we saw PSG struggle with it. It's difficult to tell for sure, but we do know that whatever happens, if they don't fix this in game number 2, I just see Complexity taking away this whole series.
Absolutely. Well, it doesn't really matter what the cause of this issue is. The fact of the matter is it does need fixing. 1 game down, Complexity, they'll look to just keep that going and maintain this momentum. FLIPSID Tactics, it's going to be up to them. They have to figure this out, and they have to figure out quickly because Complexity are getting a lot of offensive time in.
Yeah, and it felt like Complexity, even with all their control in the match, I felt like they weren't really even going like full throttle right there.
It was a very slow game for a team that says we're the fastest in the world.
Right about that. We'll see what happens as we go into game number 2.
Mystic off the backboard. Cooks can't quite get there, and now it's going to be Metznaris. Yukio comes nearly a Mystic. Well, I don't know if he's going to give his teammate verbal help, but he definitely gave him in-game help there. Taking out the potential threat. Metznaris gets blocked by Yukio and now settles straight back down for Mystic. Another long ball played. Haven't seen too much infield so far from Complexity. They scored 1 to end the last game. And when the pace is on, that's usually where they've gone for it best. Yukio trying to hound away at a lot. The offense wasn't coming in quick enough. poor touch from him. Leaves the ball for Metznaris, who can go up the wall. Lovely pinch. Going to force the ball all the way back over. Now FLIPSID Tactics need to try and find a way out. Not going to be made any easier by a lot being a complete bully. And Magnus's shot, not really even close.
Not even a little bit. That was a great bump there on the goalie, and it was a wide open net.
Still, Complexity, they need to shake that off. They've got the offense, or at least they did. Now been transitioned straight back over, but Yukio too close. Possibilities now. Magnus takes his shot, and he's going to make up for it this time, turning it in.
Yeah, just another solid shot here, punishing this defense here. Meds able to get past 2 of the defenders is the big key point there. Beating 2 defenders and popping it to the teammate. He gets just enough height on that to let Magnus get a lot of power on that shot.
FLIPSID haven't really been able to maintain much of anything to start off this game. Led off to not be down earlier on. Magnus plays the ball long, cooks it. Puts it up high. Finally, Mystic holding himself during the midfield. I believe that's something that FLIPSID have been missing up till this point. Having someone to aim for as they try and clear the ball away. Metza gets it taken by Cooksey, starting to really ramp up his pace now. And if Cooksey can get his groove going, then FLIPSID might be able to make a chance or two for themselves.
Yeah, we've seen him have some effort or involvement with a couple of the clears, but other than that, Cux has really just been sitting as a third man back with little to no impact.
Now Mystic tried to take it past Metznaris, had that one red, now a lot. Turns himself 360, looking for Metznaris. Yukio has to shut that one down before the through ball got through. Imagine that one. Cooks here. Can't quite get this away though. FLIPSID have been stuck in their own half for the majority of this game that we've played so far, and we're about to hit the halfway point. Big demo yet again. A lot looking for the backboard. Mystic has to cover. This is more defensive time taken up from FLIPSID, and every single time this ball goes over to Complexity's side, there's no one around. I mean, after 2 whiffs there from Complexity, they still had enough time to bring in their third without even being challenged.
Right, it's super important that there's somebody further up the field, not necessarily cherry picking, but just a potential outlet. At least somebody to even fake the defense, like, oh, I might pass this guy, you better respect me.
There's going to be another shot to in for 2. An aerial whiff will allow Metznaris to put in yet another one.
Just
Cooks this time. It's not the one I expected it to be.
And you just got to feel for this FLIPSID roster in the sense that these challenges going up for the ball, I mean, it's just not enough for this level of Rocket League.
Certainly hasn't been. They've got to try and really sort their game out. Cooks it with a shot straight down the middle, way too low, and now the transition comes through. Complexity would love to try and put more and more hurt on. Zalot puts it straight down for Magnus. Couldn't quite make it there, but Mystic with another mistake. FLIPSID, they're not even breaking down. They have disintegrated.
Right, just this miss so uncharacteristic as well. We heard the desk talk about it. Mystic is one of the most consistent players in the RLCS. To see him whipping like this, I mean, at this point, it's like a disease spreading through the team.
Nobody on FLIPSID is blameless so far. No one is really stepping up. And for Complexity, they're just running through the motions. They're not doing anything special. They're just putting some easy shots forward and saying, are you going to make a mistake? Okay, cheers. That's going to be another transition play, but so much space yet again from FLIPSID.
And even that shot there, very clear where it was going to be aimed. We still saw 2 of those FLIPSID players commit.
A lot can't quite get over there for it. Shot from Magnus. Not there on time. 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. 3-0 to Complexity. As Yukio wants to try and provide his team some sort of outlet, but it's struck the backboard. Magnus has it red. Now a lot looking for Metznaris. Lovely team play coming out from Complexity. Not enough, though, to get it past Mystic. Big challenge there. Cooks it. Should turn that in for 1. 2 more to go. 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, a really solid 50-50 here from Mystic. You look, he just totally expects that coming from Magnus. Even boost to get out the way there for Cuxer. Really well thought out, but with 1 minute left, I mean, FLIPSID, if any team that can do it, it's them.
Seems to be in the genetics of that team. Just the name of it seems to give it away. We've already seen it today, where that last minute, as soon as 1 goal goes in, it can get a little bit nuts, and Cuxer turns it in for the second. And 51 seconds remaining now. We have a real match.
Yeah, just 9 seconds later, bring it to a 1-goal margin. A great touch from Yukio, but what is the defense doing there on Complexity? A lot just floating up in the air.
Cooks is 3 shots, the rest of his teammates sharing 1 shot between them. It's an opportunity now. 45 seconds remaining. FLIPSID Tactics trail by 1. You know that they've got to be re-energized by this position. That seems to have come from seemingly nowhere. You just got to get out. This has been the problem area for them this entire series. Having it stuck in their side of the field and trying to transition away. Cooks tries to follow Metznaris straight up to the corner. Complexity happy to just play incredibly slowly right now. 1 mistake could cost them though, but they are seemingly holding their nerves. Now a lot shot on target can't be reached, and that should tie it up.
And this is just, oh, Complexity like 2 steps ahead on every touch in this play here. There was always somebody following it, reading where that clear was going to go from Cux, from Yukio, and they're just being so predictable. And it's really making it so easy here for this Complexity team to just dismantle.
So a final minute fight back from FLIPSID, I should correct myself, will be finally finished off by Complexity, and they're going to go 2-0 in this series. Almost managed to finish off with incredible team play, but Complexity, they're looking pretty solid right now, apart from that small scare to end us off there.
Right, we saw Complexity, just for the most part throughout that match, really dominating in possession. Control touches, always looking for those infield passes, and what I really liked seeing was when we did see FLIPSID initially start that matchup with lots of heavy clears, you saw them understand it and they begin to spread out to expect the clears. They're adapting to this FLIPSID team very well.
Absolutely. FLIPSID Tactics offense has been okay so far. I can't really say either offense has been phenomenal because they haven't really been tested.
Of offense that we saw.
Yeah, and their goals did come from Complexity mistakes over on the backboard, so not too sure just yet. It seems like their way into this matchup is more based upon how Complexity is playing rather than how FLIPSID is playing, and that's an issue in itself.
Right. I mean, FLIPSID really kind of need to take their own destiny, and it's in their own hands, and they're not really taking advantage of that. They're just passing the ball to the sidewalls time and time again. We see double commits. They're not working together whatsoever, and it becomes very clear when you see how fast this Complexity team just strings together a couple passes for a goal.
So, FLIPSID Tactics, we know what they need to change. Can they do it, though? They have got everything to do now. 3 wins in a row required. Otherwise, Complexity will take their first win of this RLCS season. And they'll look to try and do it as quickly as possible, as we are now on Manfield Night. Probably the most popular map in this game. I don't know if you agree, but that's going to be an early shot from Metznaris. No time to dwell on the map. Metznaris wants this series over and done with nice and quick. Yeah,
I'm not sure if FLIPSID's listening to the stream right now. They heard you there, started to look around. But just huge defensive error starting off that game, and that's going to make this game so much more difficult for them. They now have to play much more aggressive to even that game out.
And once again, it was Cooks here. Put it straight through the middle. The player that we were all looking towards and saying, this could be his year. This could be the time that he really steps up and just goes nuts. But this has not been his series at all. The shot from Yukio, too soft and too low to really trouble Complexity. Now Metza puts the ball straight back over to Yukio yet again. These long balls aren't really going to do too much for FLIPSID, apart from give them some offensive pressure, but still, they need to outpace Complexity somehow. There's now a lot. Look for the fake. Cooks here not falling for that. Rams his face straight into the ball. Going to allow FLIPSID to keep the ball on the orange side. Going to last too long, however. Magnus plays it long. Going to try and look for the double tap. He's almost got it. But Cooks here plays it to the corner, and now Yukio looking for the ball. He's managed to get a hold of it. Don't know if he's got too much boost, so he just seems to be trying to get a wave dashes, any sort of way of maintaining momentum, but it wasn't quite enough. Back and forth. It's going to suit Complexity. That's going to be a lovely 1-2. Cooks here once again required on the defense. Complexity just seemed to have that ability to rotate through the gears much quicker, taking the game from a slow one to immediately just saying, all right, well, pass. All right, shot on target. And that has the potential to really catch out FLIPSID. Touch from Yukio, almost set up a lot. Now Yukio, heavy touch from him. Metznaris puts the ball up high. Mystic, though, will cover. And another long ball. No target man there for Complexity, but they just want to keep the ball out of their side. Big miss from Magnus, actually puts out Mystic as well. Metsnaris looking for the backboard. Cooksay can't reach it. He's actually got a terrible touch. Oh, no.
God, as we facepalm watching this goal, you see Cooks, it looks like he tried to control that for Yukio. I'm pretty sure Yukio throughout that entire play had little to no boost. And he's probably calling to Cooks right there saying, I've got no boost. Cooks trying to control it. I mean, whether he tried to control it or not, that touch, you just cannot do that.
Outside of putting it into his own net, that play could not have gone any worse. Magnus going to put it straight over to a lock, tries to tap it straight down with the bottom of his car. Creativity and complexity is on display here. It's definitely going to be needed as they reach more difficult opponents in future weeks, but right now they are in solid control over a FLIPSID team, and it is only the first game of the season, but I almost feel like the word crisis could already be on the minds here, because this has been terrible from them so far.
You're not wrong about that, especially a lot of these plays here coming from complexity. They're using a lot of backboard as well, and that's something that FLIPSID should be able to deal with at this point.
It's been a while since backboard was really all that dangerous.
So, I mean, for FLIPSID here to just be struggling so heavily with some really rudimentary mechanics and attacks, you know, it just doesn't spell good things for them.
Lovely challenge from him, but it's going to go straight over to Mystic. 2 goals still separates. FLIPSID, they need to be able to switch on very quickly. Pinch there from Cooks is just going to be put the ball straight over to Magnus. Complexity spreading out just a little bit more compared to FLIPSID, who have got all 3 players behind the ball right now. Not necessarily a position you want to be in when you're trailing by 2 goals and the time ticking away. Cooks, heavy first touch. Metsnaris looking for a lot, puts it straight down. Metsnaris can't quite reach it in time. That's a play we're starting to see a lot more. We saw it last week during the play, and we're seeing it a couple of times this weekend. Just leaving players up, and rather than just playing the ball to the side, just play it straight up and get them to tap it straight down for you.
Yeah, and if you get that third player, that follow-up shot to be pre-jumped or as fast as possible, those shots can be almost unsavable, Shogun.
Metsnaris by himself. Can't quite get there, and neither can Magnus. A lot forced to be the saving grace for complexity. Gonna look for a double tap. Can't quite get to those. Cooks here plays the ball off the backboard. 1 minute remaining. Still 2 goals separate. Complexity just need to settle on this lead now. Take the 3-0 win in this series. Still Cooks here looking for Yukio. Backboard is covered every single time. FLIPSID need to find a new way of moving forward. Once again, trying to go for it. Once again, Metsnaris able to clear, and he's cleared it convincingly. That's the reason why I don't like the backboard right now. It's too telegraphed. Complexity have got too many players ready for it. And immediately, as soon as you do it, they can hit it so strong that your offense just dissipates.
Right, and it feels like almost every time they have the ball, it's just a hard clear time and time again with no players able to follow up.
There's going to be number 3. And Magnus takes advantage of more bully play. Double commit you see right there, but take a look at a lot just off the camera. Hounds after Mystic, who can't do anything about it after that.
And you got to go for Yuki a little bit there. That's the one time I've seen him actually try to control the play there, and that 50-50 wasn't good enough. Mystic out of position. This is just a weekend, a series to forget for FLIPSID right now.
Absolutely, they've still got to play one more time today, but as we reach the final 10 seconds, Complexity are going to put to rest some of the doubts on their gameplay. There's going to be more questions to answer, but this is not the series to do it. They're going to take the sweep against FLIPSID Tactics.